In the winter of 2019, along the frozen banks of the Danube River in Serbia, a group of morning joggers stopped dead in their tracks. Partially submerged in ice-cold floodwaters stood a baby elephant, completely motionless. His small body was shaking violently, his trunk hung low, and his eyes were wide with what appeared to be pure terror. The joggers immediately called emergency services, but when rescuers arrived, what they discovered beneath that freezing water would reveal one of nature's most heartbreaking secrets. The elephant's name was Raj, and he was only 4 years old. He'd escaped from a traveling circus that had been passing through the region when unprecedented flooding hit. In the chaos, Raj had wandered into the swollen river, and now he was trapped, standing in water up to his chest, with temperatures hovering just above freezing. But here's what made no sense to the rescue team. Raj wasn't trying to escape. He had the strength. The water wasn't that deep, yet he just stood there, trembling, as if something invisible was holding him in place. For 3 hours, rescuers attempted to coax him out. They tried ropes, they tried food, they tried making paths through the ice. Nothing worked. That's when a wildlife veterinarian arrived on scene and immediately understood what everyone else had missed. Raj wasn't refusing to move because he was stubborn or confused. He was frozen in place because of something far more profound, something coded deep into elephant biology that goes back millions of years. You see, elephants possess what scientists call threat-induced immobility. It's a neurological response that's completely involuntary. When a young elephant experiences overwhelming trauma or fear, especially when separated from their herd, their nervous system can essentially shut down their movement. It's not a choice. Their muscles lock, their body temperature drops, and they enter a state that resembles shock. In the wild, this response actually served a purpose. A baby elephant that stayed perfectly still when predators were near had a better chance of survival than one that panicked and ran, drawing attention to itself. But here's what makes this truly devastating. Raj's response was triggered by abandonment, not predators. Elephants are among the most social creatures on Earth. A baby elephant is never alone in nature, never. They're constantly surrounded by mothers, aunts, siblings, the entire family unit. Their sense of safety is entirely dependent on proximity to the herd. When Raj found himself alone in that freezing water, his brain couldn't process it. The abandonment was so foreign to his evolutionary programming that his body simply gave up. This is completely different from how other animals handle crises. A young deer separated from its mother will hide and wait, but it will eventually move to find food or shelter. A lion cub might cry out, might wander, might take action. But elephants? They have what researchers call obligate social dependency. Remove the herd, and you remove their will to survive. It's why elephant calves in captivity, separated too early from their mothers, often develop psychological conditions that mirror human PTSD. Their brains are wired for connection at such a deep level that isolation becomes physically unbearable. Now here's what most people misunderstand about this situation. When the story first broke, comments flooded in calling Raj stubborn, calling him stupid for not just walking out of the water. But that reveals a fundamental misunderstanding of elephant intelligence. Raj wasn't making a decision. His prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for decision-making, had essentially gone offline. The amygdala, the fear center, had taken over completely. It's the same mechanism that causes humans to freeze during car accidents or violent encounters. We call them deer in the headlights, but really they're experiencing the same neurological override that trapped Raj in that river. The veterinarian understood this immediately. She instructed the rescue team to stop all the noise, all the activity. She approached Raj slowly, and she did something remarkable. She began making low, rumbling sounds, mimicking the infrasonic calls that mother elephants use to calm their young. These sounds are below human hearing range, vibrations more than noises. And within minutes, something shifted. Raj's ears, which had been pinned back in fear, began to relax. His trunk slowly lifted. It took another 2 hours, but with patient, consistent vocal cues and the veterinarian maintaining constant proximity, essentially replacing the herd presence Raj desperately needed, he finally took one step, then another. The rescue team had placed heated blankets on the shore, and as Raj stumbled onto dry land, he collapsed into them. His core temperature had dropped to dangerous levels. Another hour in that water and his organs would have begun shutting down. But here's where this story transforms from tragedy to triumph. News of Raj's rescue spread across Europe. Within days, a wildlife sanctuary in Hungary contacted authorities. They had a herd of rescued elephants, including 2 females who'd recently lost calves. They offered to take Raj. And when he arrived, something extraordinary happened. The moment Raj was led into the enclosure, a female named Durga approached him. She touched his face with her trunk, a gesture of recognition and comfort. And for the first time since his rescue, Raj made a sound, a small trumpet, barely audible, but unmistakably joyful. Today, Raj is 8 years old. He's never left Durga's side. The circus that lost him during the flood was investigated and ultimately shut down for animal welfare violations. Raj's story became the catalyst for stricter regulations on traveling animal shows across Eastern Europe. The joggers who found him, they visit every year on the anniversary of his rescue. Sometimes the most heartbreaking moments reveal the most beautiful truths. Raj's frozen stance in that river wasn't weakness. It was proof of how deeply elephants are designed to love, to connect, to need each other. And in the end, he found exactly what his body and mind were desperately searching for: a family. If this story moved you, hit that like button and subscribe for more incredible animal rescue stories that'll restore your faith in humanity.